the Neue Schule Warmblood Weymouth.
Here we have the Neue Schule Warmblood Weymouth, and initially I'm just going to talk about the length of the shank. Now we have it available in a 5 centimetre, and a 5 centimetre would give us what we call a +1. So 10% of the force that the rider puts through the rein is actually going to travel up through the cheek pieces. With our 7 centimetre, we have a +2, and that means 20% of the force through the rein is going to travel up through the cheek pieces. We have it available in a 9 centimetre, and 30% of the force that the rider puts through the rein is actually going to travel up through the cheek pieces. Now, why would we choose between a 5, 7 or a 9? Well, 7 is actually the most popular, and it's middle of the road. It gives enough control for the rider aesthetically. It's very pleasing. It's not going to draw the judge's eye in. So the 7 centimetre is 9 times out of 10 what the rider would go for. However, if we have a horse that is particularly sensitive, then we may consider the 5 centimetre initially. In fact, we may even stay in the 5 centimetre. Or if you're a little bit dubious about going into doubles, then, maybe the 5 centimetre would be your first port of call. If we have a horse that is particularly strong, then we would possibly consider the 9. Obviously, if you have a tiny head, the 9 can maybe look a little bit too much, but quite frankly, it's more about having the control and being able to perform those movements in an accurate fashion. Now, the Warmblood mouthpiece, many riders tell us it's particularly good if they have a horse that is very busy in the mouth, horse with tongue evasions. And obviously, in the show rein or during a dressage test, we really want the horse to have a nice closed mouth, otherwise we will lose marks. Now, all of these Weymouths are used with a curb chain, and we often are asked regarding a lip strap. Now, if we're going to use a lip strap, we would attach it to this little semicircle. And if the curb chain isn't remaining in the chin groove, we might have a horse with a particularly long head and we want to stabilise the curb chain, then a lip strap actually can be very beneficial. Not seen quite so much nowadays, used to be extremely traditional, but it does have its use. The other thing that I would like to recommend is a curb sleeve. Certainly initially when introducing, you may take it off at a later date, but actually I find a curb sleeve is very beneficial. And you could either go for a rubber curb sleeve, very, very squidgy, or you could go for a leather curb sleeve. But it does just offer that greater degree of comfort for the horse. So there we have it, the Neue Schule Warmblood Weymouth.